here. Excuse me. I just got out of bed. It's like 9:30 and it's supposed to rain in the next 2 hours. So, excuse me. I'm not mowing. I don't even want to attempt it. I do have the time though to possibly plant some trees, which is what I think I might do. Excuse me. Because they need to go in there. They need to get planted so that we can have more trees and begin reforesting the backyard. So I want to show you something real quick. Alright, this tree right here, I believe it is a walnut, but it was so covered in grapevine, we couldn't yank anything out. I mean, you can still see some grapevine right there. So I was able to get up onto these limbs to clear everything out. That's maybe 6 feet from top to bottom. And nothing was coming out. so I thought and had a wonderful idea to grab hold of the mane and jump out, thinking the grapevines would slow my fall, being all tangled up, and I'd be able to land on the ground on my feet. Yeah, they let loose. Completely landed on my ass right there. My mom's standing like right there, freaking out. I somehow missed every single one of these rocks and landed straight this way. I think that's the one that caught my elbow. We had a good laugh. Like I was kind of glad nobody filmed it, but I also kind of wish somebody was. Like it's the coloration's gone now pretty much, but right here on my elbow, I hit one of the rocks, and you can see from the little dots. I hit my funny bone like really hard, and it made my entire arm go numb. So, me being me, I sent a text to my fiance Tashelle saying, "Hey, I just fell out of a tree. My arm is numb." And she starts freaking out. Like she was out with the girls looking for clothes to wear to the wedding in June. And she said she was considering dropping everything and driving out here to take me to the hospital. And I'm like, my mom's here. She knows how to be a mom. I love torturing her like that. Like, my youngest was in one of the cedar trees, climbed all the way to the tip top, like enough to where he was sticking out of the brush, like here up, and he was waving. So I took a picture of him and I sent it to the whole family. And like they're all freaking out. He's way too high. He shouldn't be up that high. Everything like that. Funny thing is, it took him forever to climb up the tree, and because he had to navigate all the branches. But coming down, he knew which path he took, so he came down quicker than he went up. So I actually told my family that, not that detailed, just saying, "Oh, he came down pretty quick." Oh man. And yes, I don't drink coffee. This is me in the morning. And Tashelle, my fiance, does drink coffee. And it still takes her 3 hours before she's personable. So she absolutely loves me in the morning. But I'm done taking the dog outside. I'm going to take him in, feed him. I'm going to get ready myself and eat my breakfast. And then hopefully we can get some trees planted before it rains. Because we haven't had rain in a while. We had snow. We had 2 inches of snow this week. I don't know where that came from, but the trees need watering. I was going to water them today if I didn't plant them. But obviously it's going to rain, so they're going to get a drink. And this is like the perfect day to do so. So plant them, let them get rained on, and get stuck in, with the water draining, the vacuum seal, and all that stuff. So I'm going to go take care of that, and we'll get an update. As many as I can do, because the weather's showing that it's just going to start raining here in like an hour or two and not stop until tomorrow. So I have plenty of time to mow tomorrow, and that is probably what I'll be doing. Okay, so I used Google Lens to figure out what this tree is because I haven't known what the heck it is for the year or two that I've had it, and we've actually found a few more just like it up there. Google Lens says that's a box elder, so that is a box elder. So I'm going to plant it here. I've got a elm, and I'm going to plant here. There's another elm there. About just fell again. I've got what I believe to be a sweet gum. I have to use Google Lens to confirm that. But sweet gum there. Another elm here. I have this sugar maple here. I just planted this tulip poplar right here that my dad brought from his yard, and this walnut. And then I've got another sugar maple that I'm going to plant right there. So it's starting to sprinkle, so I'm going to try and rush to get all these planted in, but every single one of these, like I said, I'm going to have to double check to make sure that actually is a sweet gum. But all of these get to be about 30-40 feet. This tree right here, all the way up, that is an elm. As far as I see, that's the only elm that we have on the property. We have a lot of these thorny locusts. I hate locust trees. These ones eventually I will remove. That is why I'm planting stuff pretty close to them. And the more trees I dig up from work and from my parents' house, I'll be getting them cut down and replace the honey locust or the thorny locust with that. This limb here, though, see how this barb, I don't know if I can, has 3 thorns on it. This is a honey locust. See, there's a better one. And these things are just crazy. We had to cut that one down because it was so tangled with the grapevine. But we've got that one, and there's another one that's up there that if I cut it down now, it'll leave a big bald spot. But I'm going to have to remove it too. Locust trees are just bad. They're native, so it's not like they're going to be a problem, but they have seeded this entire property. They're also incredibly brittle. I'm surprised we haven't lost any in the ice storm, the snowstorm that we had. But yeah, I'm getting hit with little sprinkles. So I'm going to go plant these quick and give you an update after. Okay, so I got them all planted. And it started sprinkling. Pretty good. I mean, it's little rain. It's not much. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up or the mic. It's not much. It's not bad. I could still work out underneath it, but it's cold. It's really, really cold wind and rain. So I'm here under the deck because now that all those trees are planted, I got some more stuff to do. So these are 9 red buds that I pulled up from work to save, and 1 cedar. Which that guy's going to come in handy because I just found that one of the cedars that we left from clearing the brush out the first time got broken over in the snow we had just a few days ago. So it's dead. So I needed a cedar replacement. This is leftover compost from the 2 trees that my dad brought. He just filled the buckets full of compost and set the root ball that he had dug up on top of them. So that's left over. This is the extra dirt that I pulled out of the other trees when I was loosening up the roots. Because when, let's see if I can get this one. Oh yeah, it's stuck. Okay, that one shouldn't be stuck. Alright, let's see. Okay, here we go. So, this tree actually came up voluntarily through this Solomon seal. So I have to separate all that out. So I would be basically knocking everything I can out of this. And there we go. There's the tree root along with some Solomon seal I broke. But that one will get potted up, and so will these. I'll get them put into something else, because I still gotta find a place to put those. But yeah, dang it, hold on. When you're, oh look, that's still a good root. Solomon seal root. So when you're potting stuff, God bless, there's still stuff stuck in here. I mean, you don't have to pull all the roots out, but you got to at least loosen up the bottom and the sides so that they can grow out, because otherwise they'll just keep growing around in a circle like they, trained themselves to do in the pot. So it's an elm. We're going to pot that up. That, I believe, is an oak. I mean, it looks like a oak yearling. This maple should have been planted, but top died, so I had to cut it. And I don't want to plant anything that's shorter than 2 foot, because I'll come through with the weed eater and just, so I don't want to do that. So we're going to pot him up, let him go for a year. Like before, we're going to put that in there, we're going to put that in there, and then we're going to fill one of these buckets full of the Pro Mix, and then probably that full of the worm castings. Give it a good turn and get everything potted up. Don't know if you can hear now. It sounds like the rain has picked up. So this deck doesn't offer much, but it offers enough. So I'm going to pot these up and get back to you. Alright, so I've got everything potted up. Rain picked up pretty good. Again, I don't know if you can see it, but I set everything out in the rain so that I didn't have to pull out the hose and water it. Still probably need to pull the hose around front, water everything inside the shed, which I'm going to do now. So while I was watering, I kept this chokeberry and redbud these 2 service berries and this red buckeye. Kept them out because I'm not planting them out there just yet. They're going in a specific spot and haven't got to it yet. But while I was watering, I found this other red bud that got mixed in with all the perennials. Just look how great everything is doing in here now. We've got an iris that's about to bloom. All these I dug up and brought from work this week. I'm putting them on the other side of the fence near the road, because these are the plants that we have problem with at work because they seed out and spread like crazy. They're native, so they love it here. And if I plant them out by the road, they'll seed out, they'll take over that whole spot, and they'll just go wild. But yeah, we've got, like I said, an iris that's blooming. All the Solomon seals come up. All of the gladiolas have started to come up, except for these 2 pots. Nothing's happened in them. We've got lilies coming up. The daylilies aren't doing anything. The roses are doing really good. So these are actually really, really old roses from work. We have a rose garden at work. They weren't doing very good, so we dug them up and threw them away. And of course I grabbed them. They're really old roots. That one had life in it last year. Apparently it doesn't now. But as you can see, it's just knotted and gnarled. They're really, really old roots, so I'm gonna probably just keep these as parent plants. Parent plants. We'll take some cuttings off of the newer, younger growth, put them in root hormone, which you really don't need to do with roses. You can actually just take a cutting and just stick it right in the ground and it'll root itself. But to better the chances, I'll be sticking it in root hormone and growing new rose bushes that way. We'll just probably keep these, keep sifting out the soil and putting them, keep giving them new nutrient every few years, and just keep them in these pots. But one of them has a bud, so it's about to bloom. Everything in here is doing great, but it keeps getting freezing temperatures in the mornings. The next week, the lowest it's supposed to get is probably about 46, which isn't too bad. So these can probably start being put out outside for the full sun and the rain and everything within the next week. I would like to start getting a lot of them planted down there by the fence row. The irises, the gladiolas, the lilies, the daylilies, and a few other things are going inside the fence on our side, so that we have just this wall of flowers. And then, all the other stuff, like I showed you, is going on the other side of the fence to seed out. And they're all kind of like prairie plants, which Kentucky does have prairies. So it'd be like a mini prairie, which is perfectly fine because there's a spot in the backyard further down near the fence where there's no trees at all that eventually I do want to just chop all down and buy some native prairie plant seeds and just reseed that whole thing so it just comes up as a native prairie. That way I don't have to maintain it, don't have to mow it, don't have to weed it or weed eat it, don't have to do anything. It'll just take care of itself. Maybe every few years we have to do a control burn, but that'd be a rarity. But that's all I've got for you today because it's still raining, and it's raining pretty good. So that's where I'm going to leave you. don't think I'm doing anything else today. Probably going inside, taking a shower, maybe recording a bunch of Transformers stuff and doing edits and stuff like that. That's probably about it. So, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.